Hello and welcome to the Sunday Preview Rundown. It's just me, Joshua, here this week. Mitchell is away. This week, we've got the Imperial Agents Codex and a bunch of stuff I wouldn't have guessed to come with it. So, obviously, the big thing is the Imperial Agents Codex. If you've not kept up on the news, they've kind of taken Deathwatch, pared it down a little bit, maybe, but also added in all of the other Imperial agents. So you've got your rogue traders, your assassins, your not enforcers, your arbites, a whole bunch of kind of random grab bag things. As always, there is a nice collector's edition, which I really do like the cover on this one. Very Age of Sail almost. 27 data sheets. So Inquisitors, Breachers, Astartes, Assassins, Deathwatch, etc., etc. And then we've got the accompanying model releases. There's not much new, but a lot of repackaged. So you've got Combat Patrol Imperial Agents, which will get Combat Patrol rules. I guess they haven't completely forgotten about it. This is a weird one, because you've got 2 boxes of the Arbites. These are built as Vigilants in the Combat Patrol. You can also build them as the Exactors or the other ones. So that's 20 models there. You've got an Eversor Assassin. You've got who used to be Pius Vorn from Blackstone Fortress, but is now known as a Ministorum Priest. You've got the Inquisitorial Agents from the Kill Team Inquisitorial Agents box. Get used to seeing those, because you're going to see those in every single one of these boxes that they released today. So this is a bit of a weird eclectic mix. We know almost nothing so far about how these guys actually play in 40k or in Combat Patrol. I'm going to tell you right now, in Combat Patrol, I see a serious lack of ability to deal with vehicles that I do not like. But, I mean, Combat Patrol is Combat Patrol. But not just the Combat Patrols this week, we've also got the Battleforces, kind of one for each of the different ordos or orders in the actual book. So, Ordo Malleus, which is basically your anti-demons. You've got a unit of Grey Knight Terminators, older sculpts, but I think they still hold up very, very well, even if they kind of don't match the new Terminator proportions anymore. They still look pretty good. The new Inquisitor Cotias miniature, which is divisive to say the least. A lot of people don't like this guy in his new form. It says this is the first place you can get him. It doesn't say this is the only place you can get him. I'm sure he'll come out on his own later. Once again, you get that Munitorum Priest, aka Old Pius Vorn. I really like that model, but they're kind of milking it. A Calexis Assassin, so different from the Eversor, and 12 Inquisitorial Agents as well. I like how they didn't even build them in their alternate poses. They totally could have. They just mirrored them. Oh, and you also just get, a flippin' Chimera for reasons, I guess. I don't know. They need to make the Battle Force. This is a weird one. The Grey Knight kits are old, but I think Grey Knights hold up very, very well for Firstborn Space Marines. I love the Inquisitorial Agents kit, but this is a lot of it. Not just in this box. In this box is just basically the Kill Team box in this box. And another Assassin. I think this one will sell mostly dependent on whether you want the new Inquisitor, although it seems a lot of people don't. And then you've got Ordo Hereticus, which is the anti-cultists. That's right, we've got anti-demons and anti-cultists. These are the before it becomes a big problem, guys, and the demons are after it becomes a big problem. You've got another 10 Adeptus RBDs guys. You've got another box of the Inquisitorial Agents, but only half the box. You only get 6 in this one, which kind of sucks. Also, a group of Battle Sisters, which, I know they can ally in, but not ally, they can be in it. You can take a number of them depending on which sub-faction you choose. So you get Battle Sisters, you also get their Immolator tank, and then this guy who used to be Thaddeus the Purifier, who is now a Munitorum Priest as well, just not with Vindictor. Oh, you also get Greyfax, which is, man, I do not like Greyfax's model. It's very classic John Blanche in the way that I don't like classic John Blanche. But a lot of people do like Inquisitor Greyfax's model, and it's a classic, it's plastic, it's good. And then finally you've got Ordo Xenos, which is Deathwatch. So it's kind of ironic that you only get 5 Deathwatch. Oh, okay, and they're big vehicles, sure. But once again, we've got these Kill Team Kill Team Inquisitorial Agents guys, only 6 of them. You also get the Euclidean Starstriders guys, who were also previously Kill Team. Okay, those are rogue traders. They're not even Ordo Xenos. It's just weird. You do get the, I can never remember her name. Kyria Draxus, that's it. She's the Inquisitor from a while back. Comes with a really cool, like, almost pseudo-dragon. You do also get the Navigator. I cannot remember what his name was, but he's also from Blackstone Fortress. He had a very odd name. Anyway, we have no idea what he does. Like, okay. And just only 5 Deathwatch and a Corvus Blackstar. Like, first off, aircraft in 40k right now are bad. Like, there are almost no good aircraft. And every time there is an aircraft that starts to get good, GW slams it with a hammer. See the Storm Raven. So I would not expect this thing to be good. And if it is good, I wouldn't expect it to stay good. And it's so strange that for the Ordo Xenos, which is mostly, like, the Deathwatch is supposed to be kind of the foot troops of the Ordo Xenos, you get 5 of them. I understand they're firstborn models. That being said, they have a lot of detail to them, and I think they hold up very well for firstborn models, better than most of the other tactical Marines. That half the box is just goobers, and these same goobers who keep showing up over and over again. I love this kit, but this is some saturation. Now, granted, I'm sure you're not supposed to buy every single one of these battle forces, but if those guys turn out to have bad rules, it's going to be really funny. Obviously, as to the actual value of these boxes, we cannot know that until we know the prices, which I do not know yet. I'm going to guess that you're looking at $210-ish, $220-ish for each of these battle forces, although I could see some of these going down to $200, especially the ones with, like, the Chimera, which is a really old kit. Speaking of really old kits, we've got Deathwatch Captain Artemis here. This is a returning model. He's good. Well, I mean, he's a good model. I don't know how his rules are yet. It's an Artificer combi weapon now, which means it's probably going to be... Well, normally combi weapons get smaller number of shots, but they can deal devastating wounds. This is an Artificer version, though, so maybe it'll be good enough to actually push it to being very good. Nablus Nobilite Navigator. This was in Blackstone Fortress first. Esper Locano is what I want to say his name was. It doesn't really matter. It's a really cool model. It's odd that a Navigator would show up on the battlefield. They're just kind of like super psychers, basically. But if you missed Blackstone Fortress, it's nice that you can get this guy separately. Same thing for Tadius here. It's nice that you can get this guy separately. He was in Blackstone Fortress. He's an amazing looking model. He's almost a comedy priest model, just in the way he's built and his facial expression and the book with the gun and the maul. I really like this model. I'm happy that it's finally coming out on its own, like 6 years later. And then Imperial Agent repacks. This is kind of disappointing because when these went off the store, we all kind of hoped that these would get, like, especially the Assassins. These two, the 2 actual Inquisitors, it kind of makes sense. These are newer models. They're very updated. You know what? It's the heels. I hate the heels on her. Battle heels. But the Assassins, we all kind of thought maybe we were getting new ones. They've aged okay. They're pretty good as far as models go. But it looks like they're just getting repackaged, which, I mean, hey, that's fine. They're probably also going to get more expensive, though, so, you know, fun. The Calidus was, until recently, the last FAQ, almost auto-take for Imperial factions, but has been kind of knocked back into normalcy with the change to both how her special tactic work, which was the one that let you pick an opponent's battle tactic and make it cost more. It's way restricted on how you can do that now, and also she went up in points, and didn't go down in points after that ability got nerfed, so probably not going to see a lot of those in other Imperial armies. As far as Imperial Agents, we'll have to see. And then for these guys, this is like the 3rd rebox that they've had. Or no, the second reboxing had, 3rd box that they had, because they came out originally in Rogue Trader, and then they came out in their own box for Kill Team, and how it looks like they're coming out again in their own box. Again. Which is funny. I don't know why they needed to call that out. I guess they'll probably remove the Kill Team branding, which, okay. Same thing, these Inquisitorial Agents, you get 6 of them, which is, like, I mean, that is the full box, technically. I know, I think I said earlier that 12 is the full box. It's not. 12 is the full Kill Team. It kind of sucks you only get 6 of these guys in a box, especially because it's probably still going to be like $60. Absolutely amazing models. I love these models. They're so good for everything. They're so 40k in the way that 40k is not just Space Marines and Tyranids and Chaos. They're the closest you get to normal dudes, even if these aren't normal guys by any stretch of the imagination. They're the closest you get. And I love these models. I just don't like how they're sold. My favorite is the pistol guy. Or, sorry, pistol girl. 2 guns. The requisite datasheet cards. Gaze upon them. Warhammer 40,000 boarding actions. Gotta admit, I'm a little surprised they followed through on this, because normally they introduce new game modes near the end of edition when things are stale and they need to sell more books, because we must always sell more books. And then when the new edition comes out, they just kind of forget about it. I hate to be a cynic, but I'm going to guess this is the last we will see of boarding actions in this edition. But if you like boarding actions and you wanted it updated fully for this edition's, including 55 new boarding actions attachments. Oh, wow. If you liked boarding actions, you probably want this book. It's also softback, which I'm hoping will bring the price down a little bit. I'm hoping this won't be an $80 book or something like that. Now, normally we don't talk about Black Library, except when we're making stupid jokes about language differences, but this one's really important because Daemon Breaker here is also the release of this model, Aveline. Now, she is going directly into Legends, so she does not have rules for competitive 40k. I know some people are upset about that because they want to use her, and what she is, her model, like the type of model she is, doesn't match the base size of the existent actual model. I think if you talk with your opponent, you're probably fine, although you are technically at a disadvantage. But this is an absolutely fantastic model. We talked about this when this was released. The cherub with the gas mask, the fact that the fire on the sword is making a fleur-de-lis. I know I said I don't normally like fleur-de-lis, but that's an exception. Or sorry, I said I normally don't like fire. That's an exception. You get away with it when you do that. The fact that her shield is also a gun and just the armor, so much about this model is absolutely amazing for this Celestant Sacrosanct Aveline. I will be getting one. I might even get the book, which is about her. Special edition is also, I really like that cover. Like, it is very, I mean, to be trite, very gothic. Now, it is worth noting that there's an asterisk on the bottom. These products are all only available while stocks last. Now, of course, that's for the, collector editions of the books, but also there's one after Daemon Breaker here, and I really hope they don't mean the miniature. If this is a super limited edition miniature that's really hard to get, I'm going to be really mad. Stop making miniatures this amazing and making them hard to get. I get it. If you have one, it's really cool. I have a couple limited edition miniatures. I have the Catachin Colonel, who's kind of limited edition. I have the other Catachin, the one who's just basically Ripper Vasquez or whatever from Aliens. I don't want those to be limited, though. Yes, I have them, but I want more people to have them. They're cool minis. You spent the time into making the stupid plastic mold. Sell the minis. Hopefully I'm overreacting, and that won't be a problem, because I want a Sacrosanct Aveline in every pot. So that's it for this week. Not surprising to see Imperial Agents, given that they've been talking about it all this week. People are really down on this codex. I'm hoping it's better than it seems. I'm hoping Deathwatch aren't as gone as the Deathwatch players have been fearing. I don't even play Deathwatch, I just kind of, in general, I just hope that's the case. We will see, though. We'll see you next week with whatever they bring, and until next time, bye-bye.